Judgment here. I thought I would provide a contrast to what I've been doing on Battle.net by explaining what has happened to my first ever assassin, Nerezza, who is currently at level 46. We are in a normal level game at the moment, and I thought before we advanced too far into Nightmare I'd explain what gear I had found on the way, where I put my skill points, and make some predictions as to where I see the character going. I've essentially just tried to copy Mr. Llama's playthrough guide, and we've managed to complete to the end of normal level without any deaths. So I'll show you the gear here. A leaf short staff, a stealth hard leather armour, a 2-socket skull cap with a Rel and an Ort rune in it, rainbow amulet, all resistances plus 11, and I was able to find the Sanders boots. I have 3 pairs of boots, and I have to make some sort of choice in a moment as to where I go into normal level. I like the Sanders boots for the run walk, but they have no resistances. We have 3 pieces of magic fine gear. That ring, and those gloves there. And that gives us a total of 52 magic find. That belt there with some hit recovery and some lightning resistance. Poison resistance charm. The charms by and large have been pretty ordinary. A fire resistance charm and a cold resistance charm. The mercenary is carrying that halberd with 5% lifesteal. That seems to work relatively well in normal level. It doesn't, well, I don't think that's going to last in Nightmare level. A 3-socket light plate, as yet with nothing in the sockets, and a 2-socket helm, also with nothing in the sockets. Overall it gives this, we have maximum resistances for lightning and decent ones for poison, fire and cold. In the stash I'm carrying this pair of gloves, which I can put on, drop some magic find, and have bigger resistances. I have made one each by upgrading gems. I've made one cold resistance ring, one lightning resistance ring, one fire resistance ring, and the intention is to swap those on and off as I see fit. We found Nockarson's relic. I'm not certain how useful that's going to be, but it's certainly a big boost to fire resistance. That may be handy in Nightmare level. The big choice is what boots do I use. I found the Saigon's boots with their big boost to cold resistance, but in early Nightmare level I've found the Tearhaunch Greaves. I'm probably going to go with those and stick with more even resistances and sacrifice the run walk speed if needs be. I've set aside Tal Eth for a better stealth than the hard leather armour. I'm hoping for Mage Plate in Nightmare level. I have a Shale Rune. The intention is to try and put that towards Rhyme if needs be. I have Ort Soul. I could make that a Law Helm in the Mercenary Helm and swap it onto here. But I also have a Thol, 3 Rels for extra fire resistance, and 3 Ammon runes, which I'm hoping to use in the Mercenary's weapon. For skills, we have simply ignored martial arts altogether. 1 point into Claw Mastery, Psychic Hammer, Cloak of Shadows, Weapon Block, Shadow Warrior, Burst of Speed up to 5, and we've put the remaining points into Shadow Master, which seems to work pretty well. For traps we have gone Maximum Wake of Fire and everything else into Fire Blast, just for the synergies. Stat points, we've had to put a few extra into Dexterity because early in Nightmare we have found the Spectral Shard Blade, and I thought with the boost to mana and resistances that'll be worth it for Nightmare level. I have yet to rescue the Barbarians, but I have already made Ancient's Pledge, and that gives us close to full resistances already in Nightmare level. So it's enough points to equip gear, and I've got extra strength because of the Sanders boots. We may go up to 70, in fact we will have to go up to 70 to equip the Tearhaunch Greaves. Enough Dexterity to equip the Spectral Shard, though we have some extra there. Everything else into Vitality. Mana is a real problem. If we go up to the Spectral Shard we have 142. That's a lot more useful, but though we're dropping some damage because we don't have the +3 to fire skills. And I've left 30 stat points in case I find something, for example, like the Wizard Spike. So we have full resistances, or close to full resistances in normal level, and at the moment we're just running Bale and possibly Pindleskin to have more levels before we try and complete Nightmare level. So I thought that would be a bit of a contrast, and I'll try and do a couple more of these gear videos for Nerezza as she plays through the game without any additional gear. We are now in a Nightmare game. It's a few days later from the first section of the video that you just saw. Nerezza is now at level 64, has full resistances in Nightmare level, and one idea I had in between the two parts of this video was to keep track of the items that Nerezza finds before we gear her up as a Magic Find character at the end of Hell level. I have downloaded a Holy Grail spreadsheet from the internet, and I've filled out the items that she has found so far, and I've uploaded this to Google Drive, and you'll find a link to that document in the description. It's a PDF document which I have made so it's relatively easy to scroll through, and we'll try and keep track of the items that she finds. I thought that would add a bit more interest to see what can be done with no more than about 40 to 50 to Magic Find. So let's see what happens. Thanks once again.